there's almost no point in a person's life where they can't change and evolve.
My wife and I never really had a bad relationship. We never had a bad marriage. But we've been closer now than we were in the big house. But we didn't know it. In 3,000 square feet, you can fall to neutral corners. In 200 square feet, you got to work it out. That's my needle. I achieved the dream. I love it. I wanted it. I did it.
Welcome to Keep Hustling with. Welcome to Keep Hustling, where we are going past the why to get to the how. I'm your host, the always hustling Aaron Gordon, aka NY Risk Advisor, aka Mr. Keep Hustling. In this podcast, we will be diving deep into the professional and personal successes of our guests to find out how they hustled through the most difficult times in their life and their development to achieve the success they've gotten to today. So buckle up for what hopes to be an amazing ride. And of course, now and always, keep hustling. Welcome to Keep Hustling with my guest, Eric Hawkins. Eric, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, this never happens on this podcast. I'm usually serious and I start really serious and whatever. I try to have like a little intro. I'll give you a little behind the scenes of the Keep Hustling podcast. Before we go live, I usually try to have like a 2 or 3 minute, just like be a nice guy, thank our guests for coming on to the podcast. But I just went totally off the rails with today's guest, Eric Hawkins. So, and I said, as we were like having this nice conversation, he'll verify this. I just totally cut her off and said, hey, we got to do this on the air. So Eric, thank you so much for being here today.
No problem. No problem. More than happy to be here.
Okay. I'm going to work backwards here because I said I was going to ask you this question. I want to get to your story and everything else like that, but I got to ask you, and everyone, I'm telling you now, pause, everybody, read the bio. It's short, but it's awesome. Eric's in Virginia, but I just want to, okay. Tiny living. We're going to get to it. How you got to it.
How do I get to that?
No, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But here's my question.
Okay.
Is it not the greatest YouTube rabbit hole you've ever gone down in your life?
It is.
I don't want to mention names because I'm hoping that all of them end up on the podcast, but I literally stalk people on social media who live in tiny homes. And by the way, you know what's crazier? Van living. And you know what's crazier than van living? Boat living. I mean, there are people out there, catamarans. I didn't know what I'm a kid from New York City. And the fact that I'm saying the word catamaran, the fact that I know what solar is, the fact that I understand what composting toilets are or how these people build these, it's absolutely unbelievable. So if you're in the tiny home community, if you're in the micro living space, be like Eric. Come on the Keep Hustling podcast. Let's have fun. You're going to see I'm more amped up about this episode. Whatever. It's insane. Fine. I'm going to take a deep breath now. Are we good, Eric?
Okay. I'm good.
All right. Now it's about you. Eric walked away from a 3,000 square foot traditional home to live tiny, a decision that reshaped his life, his finances, and his understanding of freedom. I want to get into all of that. I want to see if we can tap into something special here.
Okay.
The moment you're sitting in the 3,000 square foot home and you realize, commit to, everybody has that little birdie in the back of the head that says, maybe you're being nuts by having the super mortgage or all this.
Yeah.
But the moment where you actually said, I'm going to do it. Can you take us there?
Yeah. I had a gas grill that I bought. I had never used it. I hadn't seen my backyard in 5 years. I had people maintaining it. My son would cut the grass the whole 9 yards. And in an effort to help me start using my backyard more, I literally I bought a gas grill to force me to go in that backyard, an expensive gas grill. And lo and behold, when I bought the thing, I actually thought I was going to actually start using my backyard, enjoying my house more, the whole 9 yards. And fast forward, I think it was, another 2-3 more years, I finally opened the gas grill up. And guess what I found out inside that gas grill? The ants had literally created an entire civilization inside this gas grill. And I said, these ants are utilizing something that I'm underutilizing. And that was the moment I said to myself, the big house, everything that's involved with it, I love it, but I'm not living the life that I really want out of this. I'm not getting what I want out of this. It looks good. It 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 shows well, but at the end of the day, I'm not traveling the way I want to. I want to do things when I want to do them, not when the house says I got to do this, that, and the other. I just got tired of it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna dig deeper on this.
Sure.
Everybody gets tired of it, man. I just came
Yeah.
off a snowstorm in New York City.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't care how big or how small your property is.
Yeah.
At that point, you know what I think of? I think of
Hmm.
my dad, he should rest in peace, and my mother, she should live and be
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
And the fact that the joke in our family is that, my mother lives in Manhattan still. And like, the guy in the building catches the snow as it's on its way down. Like that's the joke.
Oh
Not
yeah.
really, but that's the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
everybody gets tired of it, but then
Yeah.
not everybody does it.
You
So
know what it was that made me do it? I had a RV. My son and I went RVing, motocross racing, the whole 9 yards. And I spent the week with him. I sat there 5 days with my son motocross racing, and I said, "Hey, why don't you go get your mom? We drop you off back at home and bring mom out here to the RV, and me and mom spend some time together." Best vacation I'd ever taken in a long time.
so so you were already I just want to I
Yeah,
want to paint the stage because it's not fair because everyone's going to leave this episode and they're going to say like, "Oh my god, I should be living tiny." Now,
yeah,
here's the thing about that. You already had the RV, so you're already kind of
yeah. I
onto
already had it.
something. Is my point. Like, I
Yes.
just I think that in a world of complexity, there's something about the simplicity. And I'll tell you what I find amazing. Like, you
Okay.
took the tiny living and now you turned it into a business, and now you have the tiny hotel and things like that.
Yes.
I I have a I have a suspicion that what ends up happening is people come to the tiny hotel and they realize that they could do the tiny living thing.
Hmm.
Right, which is
Yes.
like,
They do. They do.
yes, it's your way of making an income, but at the same time, it's like, I didn't realize that I could live for 3 days with a kitchen that looked like this or with 1 bathroom. Okay, if I can do it now, then maybe I could do it more permanently. And
Hmm.
but I think what's amazing is I feel like everybody should do the RV thing at one point in their life, unless they feel like they're gonna, like, murder their family, but, like, there's a certain level of like, I am so inspired by the people that, and obviously everyone says that social media is fake, but I believe that some of this is true. Like, you follow some of those catamaran people,
Hmm.
and like, it's never cold unless they want it to be cold, right? Like, they can literally
Right.
just like sail to warm weather and
Hmm.
swim for their food. And that
Dude.
may not be for everybody because I understand that obviously there's a reason why big cities exist and things like that. But I feel like a lot of people who it's tugging at them, they don't do it because they feel like that's not what society wants from them or what they should be doing, or people are gonna view them as less hustling. And by the way, can I give you the most ironic thing? And I'm gonna turn
Hmm.
the floor over to you to respond to all this but I'm just
Okay. Okay.
hyped right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ironic thing is that people who say that people downsize to tiny living in an effort to make their lives easier and hustle less, often the tiny home people, the tiny living people, or the van life people actually
Mhm.
work harder on a daily basis than those who don't because you can't not do your dishes.
No, you can't.
You
You can't.
you
You can't.
physically cannot not do your dishes. I can, right?
No.
3,000 square
No.
feet,
That's
big
right.
sink, dishes go in
Yes.
the sink, see you in 3 days.
That's right. I'll take it one step further. In relationships, when you have a disagreement, in 3,000 square feet, you can fall to neutral corners. In 200 square feet, you got to work it out.
Isn't th isn't that scary?
You know what? I've been married 34 years.
Okay, so now I wanna take it to the next step. You're
Okay.
crazy. You're totally nuts, right?
I
This is what we're
am.
going with.
I am.
That's the
Yeah,
premise of
I
this
am.
conversation. I love it.
Yes.
What'd
Yes.
your wife say after that RV trip when you're like, "Hey, I think remember that house we built?
She,
I think we should do it
she,
again, but 200 square feet."
200 square feet, right. We had the greatest time in that RV, relaxing amongst ourselves and just finding our space. And we found our own little nooks. And I read by in the sunlight at this hour, and she was at the kitchen at this hour. We didn't bump into one another. When we had such a good time that when I got back home, I said, "Honey, I think we can do this." Now, mind you, I'm fresh off the gas grill thing because I'm mad and upset. And she said, "You know what? I could do this, but with stipulations." I said, "What's the stipulation?" You take me to Paris, and I get to get up whenever I want to. I said, hell, I got that. You ain't got to worry about that. Done. We're good to go. You know what my wife's biggest problem was when we got on the road and started traveling?
Too much
She
time
would
with
wake
you.
up every morning and ask me 2 questions. What day is it and where are we?
I love that. I love that. Quick digression.
Sure.
You tiny home right now. Do you have a gas grill?
Excuse me?
Do you have a gas grill?
Oh, no. Oh, I have a charcoal grill out there right now. Yes.
So basically, keep hustling. This is basically what we've established here.
Yeah.
Had Eric just gotten a charcoal grill in the old house, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
But I say that jokingly, but I actually mean it seriously. Because there are those moments in life that we don't realize are going to be defining, and then they're defining, right? Opening up a gas grill and seeing a bunch of ants.
Mm-hmm.
You could break the thing down, beat it. By the way, most people would have done just bought another one, wasted more money on another one.
But brand new, but unused. It's insane.
It's insane. It's totally insane. It's totally insane. I mean, the world is totally insane. I mean, it's wild because I mentioned this on an earlier episode. In New York, the only time our kids play outside is when there are snow days. And that's insane to me, if you actually think about it, right? I mean, our kids get out in the summer, but they do camp, they do school, they do all these things. Snow day is no school, and when your parents actually have the guts, dare I say, to tell you to put down the device and go and play outside. And
right, that's right.
Tiny living it's all the same thing, right? Because if you don't, you gotta. Life is so much about experiences. My father, he's rest in peace, used to say that a parent's number one job is to create memories. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's intentionally, sometimes that's not intentional. But if you're creating positive memories for your kids, you've done a good thing, and they will probably turn out right. Your masterclass, Unstuck to Unstoppable.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Helps people move from stuck and overwhelmed to clear and confident.
Yes.
Mr. Hawkins, I live in a big house in New York City. I have big property taxes, big income taxes.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. Very rarely do I feel clear and confident. Sometimes I feel stuck, or I just keep moving so that I don't feel stuck.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to use myself as the petri dish here, as the guinea pig.
Fair enough.
Can you give us the first step to getting to clear and confident?
Exposure is the first thing. I tell people, your dad was right. The more your experiences create exposure. And most people like to do vision boards and try to put all their goals up. I say, get one image. And that image is based upon your exposure. That one image that you can see all your other goals in. So when I say that, it means for people that want to live tiny, people who want the nice house, they want the car, whatever it is, whatever image you can see that you see all of that in, focus on that one image. If it's a house, be exposed to as many houses as you possibly can. Be able to define your one image to a point that if someone was a genie and came up to you and said, all you got to do is describe to me what it is that you want, you can describe it in such detail, he could give it to you. You have to focus on that one thing. When you focus on all these other things, it distracts you. You take that one image and you put it everywhere you go. On your wall at home, in your bedroom, in your kitchen cabinet, on your phone. I kept that image with me everywhere I went. Because your decisions that you make every day, the moment you walk out of that room and your image is on your bedroom wall, the moment you walk outside, you're no longer focused on that goal. I take my image everywhere with me. So when I see that image, it forces me to make decisions every day, every hour, no matter where I'm at, to help me focus. Will this decision help me get to this goal? Will this person's conversation help me get to this goal? Will this do that? You got to be exposed. You have to create an image. You have to create one image, and you have to surround yourself with that image.
I love that. I'll tell you why I really love that. I'll tell you why I love that.
Okay.
You're not saying, correct me if I'm wrong though, I'm a New
Sure.
Yorker. I make a lot of assumptions.
Okay.
You're not saying that everybody's image should be the same.
No.
Meaning, there is if a person feels that their whole life, for instance, they lived in a one-room apartment with a bunch of siblings, and their goal in life is
Mhm.
to have their coffee in the morning overlooking this picturesque backyard, or by the way, to have the gas grill so that they can have 20 people over on a Sunday.
Right.
That's the image, right?
That's
And that
it.
makes the
That's the
person feel
image.
clear and fulfilled. And therefore, if it does, but I'm talking about in here, if it really does in your
That's right.
heart,
That's right.
and,
That's
and
right.
that doesn't mean that the person is obsessed with material things and not obsessed with, but there's a
No.
certain level of, and it's funny. I've said this probably on 100 of 140 episodes of Keep Hustling.
Mhm.
The only negativity I get for being the host of the Keep Hustling podcast is that people tell
Mhm.
me that the modern hustle culture is a bad and negative thing. And I say the
Hmm.
whole goal of Keep Hustling is to prevent burnout, because there are people, by the
Yes.
way, the,
That's it.
the greatest athletes in the world, those athletes that won gold medals at the Olympics, some
Mhm.
of them did it for the wrong reasons, but some of them
Right. Mhm.
stood on those podiums and said, this was my dream and I achieved it and I kept hustling when everybody
Right.
else told me I was nuts. And by the way, it was worth the bangs and the bruises and everything else like that. That
Everything it
might
is.
not be for you. That might not be
No.
for me. My goal
No.
may be X. You feel more comfortable with a
That's
smaller
right.
gas grill.
That's it.
But I think you're onto something, saying the most important thing that we can do is get that image.
Get that image.
And
Matter
dare
of
I
fact,
say, yeah, go for it.
go ahead. Well, I'll take it a step further. Keep hustling. The thing I love about a hustle, it moves a needle. See, in your car, most people have digital dashes today, but when I was growing up, we always had gauges. We have a lot of gauges in the car. You got a lot of gauges in your life. Which gauge are you going to focus on? And when you're hustling to a goal, you're hustling to an image, you're hustling, and whatever moves that needle, that one needle. We have so many needles in our lives. We're focused on too many of them. Focus on the one needle and let that one needle move. But we fail to identify the right needle. To me, hustlers have already identified their needle.
And dare I say, the needle changes.
It does.
Meaning,
It
Eric,
does.
you were not the picture that you had
Mhm.
before, as you talk about the image, was
Yes,
the 3,000 square foot house.
it was.
Then when you got to the 3,000 square foot house, you had two choices. You could say, this makes me happy, and therefore the image is going to change.
That's
Or
right.
you could pivot that hustle
Mhm.
and put a new image. And I think
That's it.
all too often, people are scared because they think, oh, my whole life I've been hearing Eric talking about building this house or moving to this neighborhood.
Mhm.
And now he did. And that Eric who's sitting there saying, this is not for me, I feel like I'd be happier and more fulfilled, or my hustle would be better driven in the tiny house. Again,
Mhm.
not that there's anything wrong with the other one, but I
Right,
would just
right.
the world would be better served with an Eric Hawkins who's chasing that dream and who's chasing that hustle. So many people are scared because of the judgment of,
Yes, other people's
was he lying
people
before,
always
the judgment, all that.
just right, because I was an HVAC contractor for a long time. Class A HVAC contractor at Master HVAC. And people always say, "Hey Eric, you're an HVAC contractor." I said, "No, that's what I do. That's not who I am." And so many people see themselves in what they do. And when you see yourself in your car, when you see yourself in your house, when you see yourself in your stuff, you can't pivot when things happen. My dad used to say, "Blessed is the man who is flexible, for he shall not be bent out of shape." When you have these moments in your life that, and something else my dad would say, the most dangerous place for a man to be is achieving his goals without another goal in the foreground. That's a dangerous place to
Life
be.
is a downward escalator and you're trying to walk up. If you stay where you
That's
are, you're going to end up backwards.
You're going to end up backwards. So as far as I was concerned, I didn't identify myself by my stuff. I identified myself with the things I wanted to achieve in my life. I'm Eric. I'm not my stuff. So it's easier for me to pivot, where so many people can't do that.
But by the way, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with the person who says that their number one goal is to become the best HVAC master
Absolutely
HVAC
not.
technician in the world, right?
That was my goal. That was my goal.
And but what
I
I'm saying
achieved
is
it.
now when you look back at it, and
Mhm.
please correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to dig in on this.
Sure, sure,
You're
sure.
not saying that was that was a bad goal, because at the time
No, absolutely
that
not.
was the right
Absolutely not.
goal, right? That's
It
what the
was the
pivot
right
is.
goal. It was the right goal. It's just that was the movement. That was my needle then. That's my needle. I achieved the dream. I love it. I wanted it. I did it. Great. Now move on to the next thing.
100%. And that's where I think people get stuck, because it's like when the needle has to change, a person has two
Yes.
choices. They can do what everyone else told them to do.
Mhm.
They can stay where they are. And by the way, that doesn't mean it has to change. It could
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
master electrician, 3,000 square foot house. I'm happy. My son comes over. He gets to mow the lawn. I get to have the cookouts. Life is good. Barbecues. And that's that. I'm going to keep growing. My son's going to come to my business. That could be the person's hustle. But I think that and they always say there's no better time to start or pivot than now. And the
No,
world
that's
that
right.
we live in right now, it has a ton of negatives, and I try not to be negative on this podcast, but one of the
Mhm.
positives that
Mhm.
it does have is that there's almost no point in a person's life where they can't change and evolve,
No.
especially in the world of 2026, especially in a time where everything's at your fingertip. Ask ChatGPT to teach you how to do HVAC if that's what's into.
It's
That's what you're into.
just that powerful. And
Ask it to teach you how to remodel an RV. Let's do it,
that's
man.
right. And here I am in 2014, 2016, somewhere, I forget the exact year I did this. There was no tiny house hustle going on. There was no, tiny house movement going on at that time. We winged 100% of this. My neighbors thought I was completely crazy. Now, mind you, I left the house with 20 employees, and my wife had a hair salon, fitness center, and day spa. And I left my house.
Do you ever
My
miss it?
employees thought I was completely nuts.
Do you ever miss it?
No,
Really?
no. I'm saying that honestly. I miss some of my neighbors from time to time, but I don't miss the house. Here's the thing. My wife and I never really had a bad relationship. We never had a bad marriage, but we've been closer now than we were in the big house, but we didn't know it. I got to learn things about my wife I did not know she could do.
That's because you took her to Paris. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That too.
She was like,
too.
okay, the guy
Yeah.
took me to Paris. That's it. I can unlock this.
That's it. I can let it all loose now.
That's
But
it.
it is the funniest thing. Most guys catch hell taking their wives on camping trips. Man, we traveled all through in the winter. We followed the weather and whatnot. My wife loves camping. She loves camping by the fire. She loves all things about it. And her water management skills are insane. I never knew she could manage water like that. I had no idea.
I'm telling you, this rabbit hole. I've been doing like the difference between like gray water and all that kind of stuff, and I just
Dude.
I will say that in a world of waste, living tiny is something interesting. And I would say the other thing is, so many people doubt that they can do it.
Yes. But they doubt they can do it only because they got other people saying they doubted they could do it. So they being influenced with someone else's fears. And that hurts you more when other people tell you, oh, we shouldn't do that. Oh, you shouldn't do that. This, that, and the other. They're just promoting their fears on you.
I never do this. Can you, because like this is not a promotion show, but I just have a question. Can you tell me about the hotel? Nothing to do with Keep Hustling. Just tell me about the hotel.
So our tiny house hotel was an old auto court that was abandoned some 50 years ago. And we wanted to expose people to the lifestyle that we discovered living tiny. Now, when I left my house, strangely enough, I went into another business, which was Airbnb. And I wound up, while traveling around the country, 19 Airbnbs while I'm traveling around the RV. And during that time, I learned how to manage and so on and so forth short-term rentals and operate short-term rentals. When we discovered this property, we decided that we want to show other people what we've done, what we've been able to expose ourselves to. So we bought this property, renovated the tiny houses, and created a tiny house hotel where people can experience some of the things that my wife and I experienced when we went tiny ourselves, or at least our
But we don't have to
version.
worry, because if Because if the water goes out, you'll take care of it for us.
Oh yeah, all that good stuff. All that good
I
stuff.
love that.
All that good stuff. All that good stuff.
I'm so amped up. I was like exhausted before this episode. It's, listen, I mentioned before we went on, I'm blessed. I have 5 children. 200 square feet ain't happening.
Congratulations.
Like, let's be honest. Thank you. But 200 feet, when you have 5 little kids, 200 square feet isn't happening. You know, that doesn't mean it has to be 3,000 or 4,000, but 200 isn't happening. Let's be honest, right? Especially 4 girls. Yeah, I said it.
Yep.
But
I had 3 children, and I just bought other RVs.
I'm telling you, I keep telling my wife, one of my dreams is summer. We gotta have no kids in cribs. So now I have a 3-year-old, right? I think little kids complicate things just a little bit.
They do.
I want to do RV across the country.
Dude.
Now here's the thing.
You can do it.
Here's the thing. And I now have your contact information. So this is how this is going to
go. Yeah.
If I do it and somebody doesn't make it, or my wife or one of my children says they're getting out on the side of the road, I don't care where it is. I fully expect you, Mr. Hawkins, as you've inspired me, to go and pick them up.
Go pick them up. No problem. We'll go get them.
I'm going to hold you to that, man. Hey, I'm somewhere in Nebraska. One of my kids just said they had enough. We're like 8 days in. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys.
Back.
I'll pick you up at the tiny house hotel. But
it is a lot of people out here that are enjoying the lifestyle. And we took it a step further by every now and again, we come into a city or a town, and I parked the RV and I put it in storage, and I'll hop on a plane and fly somewhere.
That's unbelievable. You know what reminds me of? This is going to be a weird transition, but this is what it's almost like everybody says they can't do it, and I would never want to go back to that time. But there was something unique about the COVID time where everybody said I couldn't be home with my family for so long.
Yeah,
I was one of those people. I had 4 kids at the time. Hey, if we ever I could never be in RV for 2 weeks because we'd all my kids would kill each other. Well, 3 months later, nobody killed each other. You know what I mean? And that was forced. So I feel like part of that clarity and a life that actually fits is saying, do that on your own terms and create those memories on your own terms and not when it's forced upon you.
Man, it is amazing. Neither my wife and I were hikers before this. Now we're hikers.
Oh, come on. No.
Dude,
I'm not hiking, man.
We've never done the whole Appalachian, but we've done little sections of the Appalachian. We've hiked Cadillac Mountain in Maine, in Arcadia National Park. Our Jeep Wrangler and our pickup, we have backpacks and hiking sticks in both vehicles because you just never know when we're going to get to a trail we want to walk. We've gotten to that point now.
I feel like if the world had the figurative approach of that, you never know what trail you're going to want to take. It'll be a better place. And if for no other reason, 130 plus episodes in, you inspired me today because I'm happy we had it. You inspired me, and for no other reason to create this podcast than to get to speak to you. So I really, really appreciate it. And everybody, look, Mr. Hawkins got perfect audio and perfect video, and he lives tiny. So, whatever. He doesn't even have running water, but whatever. I'm just kidding.
Hey, there you go.
As you know, Eric, we have a closing tradition on this podcast. We ask our guests to leave us with their favorite motivational or inspirational quote and what it means to their hustle. And I'm going to once again say these last few minutes talking to you have really, really inspired my hustle. And I hope that it inspired everyone else. So really, thank you again for being here.
Thank you. My quote, either lead, follow, or get the hell out of the way.
I love it. And I'm happy that you're leading. So thank you.
Appreciate you, boss. Thank you.
This has been another episode of Keep Hustling. Remember, do well by doing good. And of course, and always, just like Eric Hawkins, keep hustling. All right, hustlers, that brings us to the end of another fantastic episode. Thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. If you have any suggestions, comments, or even just want to say hello, please feel free to reach out to us on all social media platforms. We are Keep Hustling Pod. Until next time, stay curious, stay hungry, and keep hustling.